All right, now we're going to read a favorite called Apple Trouble. Do you know what kind of an animal that is? Do you remember? What is that? You see the prickles right here? That's right, it's a hedgehog. And what has she got stuck on her back? Something red. Is that a strawberry? Is it a tomato? No, that's right, it's an apple. And we're going to find out how that apple got stuck on her back, and we're going to find out what she does about it. Are you ready? All right. Hedgehog had just finished building her winter nest under the old apple tree. Do you see the apple tree here? Not too large, not too small, just right for a long winter sleep. What is she doing right here? Do you remember why we do that? Because she's tired and she's going to take a nap. Suddenly, a juicy red apple landed right on her back. Ow! She said. Look at that, it's stuck right on her back. She curled up into a spiny little ball, because that's what hedgehogs do. They're a lot like armadillos. They curl up and they protect themselves. She hoped it would fall off, but when she uncurled, was it gone? No, it was not. It was still there. She tried to squeeze herself and the apple into the nice new nest that she had made, but could she get in? No, she couldn't. Not with the apple on her back. The nest was too small. We can't see her face here, but how do you think she feels? She took a lot of time to make that nest. It was hard work. I think she feels sad too. Maybe she can find someone to help her. Look, there's Squirrel scurrying past with an armful of brown, nuts. And he stopped to help. That was nice, wasn't it? Stand still, said Squirrel, and I will push the apple off. Do you think that's going to work? He pushed, and he pushed, and he struggled, and he pulled, and he heaved. But did the apple come off? It didn't. It stayed right where it was. And worse, now Hedgehog also had 3 acorns stuck to her spines. Let's count them now. 1, 2, 3, plus the apple is 4. She has 4 things stuck to her back now. Oh dear, said Hedgehog. Winter is coming. I can't get into my nest. What will I do? Well, said, who's that? Try rolling on your back. That'll get rid of it. What do you think? Do you think that'll get rid of the apple? She threw herself on the ground and she rolled back and forth, and her little legs tossed and turned in the air, and she twisted and wiggled in the grass. Do you think it came off? Has it all gone? She asked hopefully. Pig shook his head no. The juicy red apple and the 3 brown nuts were still there. And so was a small green pear. Do you see it? And a crumpled brown leaf. Oh dear, said Hedgehog, and she rolled her eyes. So now she has, let's count them, the apple, 3 brown nuts, 1, 2, 3, the pear, and the leaf. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She's got 6 things stuck on her back now. She's never going to get back in her nest now, is she? Then up in the sky, sailing towards Hedgehog, she saw, do you remember what that is? What color is that? It's blue, and it's a piece of paper. Oh no, no! And she ran this way, and that way, and this way, and that way. And the paper drifted down and landed right on her back, right between the apple and the 3 brown nuts. It's not fair, said Hedgehog. Now she had the juicy apple, the 3 brown nuts, a small green pear, a crumpled brown leaf, and a blue piece of paper on her back. Hedgehog walked to the pond and looked at her reflection in the water. Do you see that here? Her reflection? That's what we see when we look into a mirror, but Hedgehog doesn't have a mirror. So she has to look into the water, and if the water is real still, it looks like a mirror and she can see her reflection. Who's this? Do you remember? What sound does he make? Hello, Hedgehog. That's a lot of stuff you got stuck to your back. Huh, I'm trying to get rid of it, said Hedgehog. Well, Ribbit, why don't you dive in and it'll wash right off? What do you think? Should she try it? Splash! Her friends watched as she dove in, up and down, and when she finally came up, the red apple, the brown nuts, the small pear, the brown leaf, and the piece of paper were all still there. And now there's a, what color? Pink. There's a pink flower stuck to her back too. Oh, said Frog. Said Pig. Said Squirrel. And she felt bad because what are they doing? She looks funny, right? But they're laughing at her. How is that going to make her feel? She didn't think it was funny. Stop laughing, she said. Where am I going to sleep? Pig and Squirrel looked worried. So did Frog. Well, I have one more idea. Squeeze through that hedge. It's another word for a bush. Squeeze through that hedge over there, and that'll knock everything right off. So Hedgehog closed her eyes. Come on, close your eyes. Really, really tight. And she squeezed and wiggled through. Did everything come off? No, it did not. It was all still there. Look at all of that. And now she had 4 blackberries stuck to her back too. But there, across the way, staring at her with a look of surprise was, do you remember who it is? Who is this? It's a goat. What sound does a goat make? It's kind of like a sheep. Did you know that goats will eat anything? Almost anything. And so Goat said, oh, you brought lunch. Hedgehog said, well, help yourself. Take it all. Is he going to help? Yippee, said Goat, and he picked off and ate the apple and the 3 brown nuts and the pear and the water lily and the blackberries. He even ate the paper. Blech. The only thing he left was the leaf because he was just too full and he couldn't eat anymore. Look, look, how does she feel now? Hooray, said Hedgehog, and she felt as light as a feather. Thank you, Goat. And then she ran. Look at her going. Look, look. She ran as fast as her little legs could carry her, through the gate, past the pound, across the orchard, under the tree, and home to where? To her nest. Do you think she's going to fit now? Shall we see? Hedgehog squeezed into her perfect little nest. It was the best nest ever. And outside, a cold wind blew another apple off the tree. Do you think it stuck to her? It didn't fall on Hedgehog. She was safe in her nest and fast, fast asleep. And that's the end. Now, what will you do? Will you make yourself a little hedgehog nest and stuff it full of your favorite blanket and your favorite stuffed animal and get all cozy and take a rest? But be careful. Don't let any apples fall on you. Bye.